Apparently, it's challenging to book good speakers for a conference. It's so challenging that a recent conference host actually made up a fake persona and catfished a bunch of people into thinking he was a woman in tech, just so he could put himself on the roster for this conference and look like there was actually a woman speaking at it. God. Why is tech like this? We have to have a serious talk, guys. Let's take a look at this drama, what's going on, and what we can do to be a little bit better as a field. So first, let's start with the source. This post came from George, who's well known for the Pragmatic Engineer book. He's a really good resource. He's really, really deep in the world of tech, does conferences, does a lot of these things. And when he's invited to a conference, he looks into it a bit. And when he was invited to this specific conference, he was a little sketched out. So he did a bunch of deep research. And the result was terrifying. I want to emphasize, I've never seen anything like this before in any field. And I can't believe this is real. So imagine a tech conference having no CFP as they reach out to speakers directly. They successfully attract some of the most heavy-hitting men in tech and 3 women speakers. Now imagine, to my surprise, 2 of those women are fake profiles. They do not exist. I contacted speakers I know about this. They had no idea. One of the fake woman profiles is supposedly a core Ethereum contributor and a staff engineer at Coinbase. No such contributor, and no one has heard of her at Coinbase now or before. Why do this? Sad to say, but going forward, if you're invited to speak at a lesser known conference, do your diligence. If others listed speak actually exist. This is a paid online conference. Large numbers of paid attendees, workshops sold out. What a mess. Just to be clear, this is about the organizer creating fake profiles. Which conference? Well, where Anna Boyko, staff engineer of Coinbase and Ethereum core contributor, is a speaker. She doesn't exist, except as a listed speaker in a prominent online conference. So this person does not exist. You can kind of tell, like, that's an AI generated face. It is. Or another Java conference with the exact same organizer where Microsoft MVP and WhatsApp senior engineer Alina is a featured speaker. Would you know that there is no such Microsoft MVP and Meta employee? Speakers listed on these conferences had no idea when I talked with them. This cover doesn't have a call for proposal, or I don't know if it's meant to be papers, but CFP is the process in which somebody applies for an idea for a talk at a conference to see if they get in or not. But they follow the Hollywood principle, which kind of sounds made up, but it is a thing where you don't call, we call you. But yeah, but then they're doing all of this crazy fake stuff for women speakers just to look like they have women speaking at their conference. If you bought tickets to Dev Eternity on the 7th or the 8th of December, you've been duped with fake speakers who are still on the website. A made-up profile, AI image, no such staff at Coinbase. So don't go to Dev Eternity. The website had a public GitHub repo where you could see the full edit history that someone found and pointed to me. You can see how fake Anna was added 10 months ago, or how, after being called out for what it is, the organizer removed fake women speaker profiles. The organizer responded, claiming he had tried so hard to get women speakers, but it's too hard for a paid conference with these huge prices. Meanwhile, others just invite a variety of people, including so many women. They exist if you actually care. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. This is from She Networks, who is one of many phenomenal women in tech, digging into it further and discovering that this fake profile for Coding Unicorn is actually by Edward. He was the first person followed on the account. And more importantly, when they looked into the screenshots, they found multiple that actually specified his username. So this is from an IG post in 2018. So you can see in the top left here, /user/Edward, posted on this Coding Unicorn account. So this is clearly his profile, his account. He's pretending to be a woman in tech. And this isn't a small account either. It has like 100,000 followers. Insane. It's very clear this is a fake profile that he made to pretend to be a woman and get all of the clout from that on the internet, which is disgusting in and of itself. But then to book these people as fake speakers for his conferences and to be getting away with this since late 2019, that's insane. He's probably not the only person doing this either. So now we have to deal with this as an industry. I can't believe this. I actually can't believe this. And as somebody who gets invited to speak at a lot of things, this is a whole new world I have to worry about. And yeah, before we go into what I want to do to work on this, I want to talk about somebody from the far past of tech that anybody who knows me at all knows I detest. Uncle Bob is a scourge to software, and somehow managed to give the worst possible take about this. I cannot believe that, first off, he showed up in this drama, but more importantly, that he could have takes as bad as he did. I do not know the facts. In particular, I do not know the motivations and intent of either the accused or the accuser. So to be clear, Uncle Bob has been booked for a lot of these conferences. That's why he's in defense, because he doesn't want to admit he went to a conference that was a scam. But he says the proper way to resolve this would have been to privately contact the accused. Yeah, DMing a fraud to say, hey, I think you might be fraudulent. I'm sure that's going to go great. I'm sure that's going to help the industry move forward if you privately address somebody massively scamming the industry. You're being so stupid here, Bob. And you get called out for it. What accuser? I stated facts that are there for anyone to validate. Confirmed speakers at DevTernity 21, 22, and 2023, as well as JDCon 2024, do not exist. There were and are no such engineers at Coinbase or Meta. I shared this fact and said no conference should list fake speakers. Huge shout out to George for handling this as maturely as he did. I would have been such an asshole in these replies like I'm being now, because holy shit, we need to stop listening to Bob. There was another based Bob take later on. This is just George being funny. This is what I was looking for, but Uncle Bob saying that this smells like cancel culture. What? Are you kidding? Oh my God. Someone just sent me a link with the facts in quotes. Thank you, but I have a question. Do you believe that links to things on the internet are always true, impartial, in context, and complete? Or do you agree with me that skepticism is generally warranted? Are you kidding? Skepticism and denialism are different things. Come on, Bob. Yeah, clean code was bad enough, and he's somehow one-upping it. I cannot believe that this dude continues to do this. Do I want to find that one based clean code take? This is one of my favorite tweets ever. Uncle Bob's clean code is the strunken white elements of style of software dev. The less you understand the craft, the more helpful it seems. Once you understand the principles, you can clearly see it as toxic brain poison that can take decades to unlearn. And that's what Bob is. He is like the representation of your brain melting out of your ears as an engineer. Okay. We're not talking about Bob anymore. I'm done with him. If you want to be on his side in this, cool, you're fucking stupid. Anyways, what I want to talk about are the awesome women in engineering that should be getting the opportunities that this dude is generating fake women to take. Because there are so many incredibly talented women in this field. I put up this tweet yesterday because I really wanted to flip this. This drama was becoming a bit of a pile-on, and I wanted to flip it because I saw an opportunity to make this positive. This myth that it's hard to find good women in engineering to speak at conferences has been in the industry forever, and I just don't believe it. There are so many talented women I work with all of the time, and I wanted to highlight them a bit, but I didn't want to just list a bunch of my friends in my replies. So instead, I asked the community to do it. And the result has been incredible. First off, this is awesome open source repo that Jess linked. Women tech speakers and organizers. The Fempire. This is a list of people that you can probably book for conferences, all with the right contact info and things you need to reach out to them, as well as the things they can talk about. This is a great resource. You can contribute to it. A couple PRs open. People have been contributing to this actively. You see 5 hours ago, it was getting merges. This is one of many resources to actually find women that you can book at your events. On top of that, if we scroll through the things that people have replied, there are so many talented people getting called out. From Shonda from Netflix, who I've been lucky enough to speak at conferences with. She gave some of my favorite presentations at the last few React conferences I've been to. Absolutely killer speaker and engineer. We got Sarah, who is an absolute legend from Google, directing engineering for web, iOS, and Android at Google. She's incredibly talented. If you have the chance to hear her speak, you absolutely should. We have people like Emily, who I should be following. I can't believe I wasn't following her already. The DevOps for Dummies series is very, very important, and she helped change the current trends of DevRel. There are so many of these incredibly talented people. I could sit here forever going through them name by name. I want to call out Randall quick because she wrote Hack the Tech Interview, which is a classic book that a lot of us have read to get our first tech jobs. And her sister, Madison, is also a content creator, YouTuber, and person in this space. There are so many incredibly talented women in engineering. And as soon as I made this tweet, it was apparent others agreed. Yeah. 321 replies. That's a lot of really talented people you can reach out to for your conference now. And I'm tired of the excuses. I am tired of the cheats and the hacks around these things. There are so many talented people in this field that we can pull in to do awesome shit. And I hope that these resources make it a little easier for anyone here who is booking a conference or even just speaking at one and wants to help them find cool, talented people to speak. Do your due diligence. There are incredible people in the field you can find and talk to, and I highly recommend putting the extra time in. And if you don't know any of these people yet, that's not something to be ashamed of. That happens. But you should take this opportunity to meet more people, to broaden the scope of your own understanding of who is making the code that we work with every day. And maybe, just maybe, make these conferences a little bit more diverse. I know conferences like Render ATL go really out of their way to have a diverse set of people. I actually turned down the opportunity to speak at Render ATL because I didn't want to be just another white dude on the stage. And I wanted them to continue channeling the very different, diverse culture that they do. I can't believe this keeps happening. I can't believe somebody actually made a fake woman just to get free clout. Yeah, I really don't have words for this one. I've never seen something like this, and it's incredibly sad to see. Stand up for what's right. We can do so much better as a field. Don't let this shit happen again. And call it out if you see it. We deserve better. Keep being better. Whatever you two put on the side, I'm sure it's good. Give that a watch, I guess. Good seeing y'all as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace, nerds.